The top two ranked teams in Minnesota Class 6A high school football battled it out tonight. Only one will survive and advance to next Friday night's Prep Bowl and a date with Minnetonka. Will it be Maple Grove or Shakopee? Find out next on CCX. Beautiful Friday night in downtown Minneapolis at U.S. Bank Stadium for the state Class 6A semifinals featuring the Shakopee Sabres and the Maple Grove Crimson. From inside the bank, John Jacobson along with Ryan Iverson. And Ryan, so it's so fun when we get down here. We didn't have a team to this round last year. Of course, 2 seasons ago, Maple Grove not only got to this round, but got to the championship game, trying to get to the final for the third time in 4 seasons.
Pretty unbelievable. They've just built such a great program. I mean, getting to the mountaintop 3 years out of 4 years, I know they didn't win one of those, but pretty remarkable. And this team is as good as any team as they have, and they are ready to go. They've been untouchable all year long, and they just have so much depth, John, and a lot of fun to watch, too.
Shakopee's had a great season. They're 10-1 coming in tonight and will be the most physical team, according to Coach Adam Spurl, that Maple Grove has played this year.
Yeah, they're physical and they really run the football. They only average 20 yards passing a night. They run the football, and it's a different type of offense, the wing T offense. So you got to be really disciplined. Any mental errors, if you're positioned wrong, Shakopee will make you pay, and they can take it to the house. They got great running backs, and they're really well coached too.
Their only loss came to Minnetonka, a team that's already in the Prep Bowl. They advanced last night with a win over Anoka. Let's look at our key players. We're looking at 2 outstanding running backs, Ryan, tonight. TJ Clark for Shakopee, Chuck Lingama for Maple Grove.
Yeah, both with 14 touchdowns. You got to remember, too, Chuck Lingama, 4 games missed with injury, too. So the biggest thing is I've watched them warm up is look at the size of their legs, Sean. They are powerful. They're fast. Really both electric running backs. They're going to be fun to watch, but both defenses, if you shut those 2 people down, then it kind of becomes this who else can make plays. And I think, John, that's where Maple Grove has such a depth advantage. So many athletes on offense and defense.
I'd say definitely Maple Grove the favorite coming in. So for Shakopee, what's their path to success tonight?
I think getting out to an early start, scoring early. If you look at Maple Grove has dominated first quarter scoring in almost every game this year. And so I think if Shakopee can get out, get some positive momentum, get a drive, put some points on the board, that's a position Maple Grove hasn't had to be in too often this year. So I think that's going to have to happen. Maple Grove so balanced on offense and defense too, just really tough to stop. I think they're going to be able to score tonight too.
Crimson looking to stay unbeaten as they look for a spot in the Prep Bowl next Friday night. Shakopee Maple Grove football's next here on CCX.
At Topline Financial Credit Union, we love getting to be part of our members' big moments. Whether it's making home improvements, going to school, building a business, or even getting married. An interest-only home equity line of credit with payments as low as $50 per month can help you get there. It's just one of the ways we're helping our members on their financial journeys. Become a Topline member and let us be a part of yours, because connected, we all do better.
Last week, Maple Grove in the state quarterfinals at Park Center High School took care of Edina 42-12, and they just got off to a quick start, much as they did Ryan Iverson against Eden Prairie in the quarterfinal, in the round before that, and just rolled past a really good Hornets team.
Yeah, and I think too, you got to remember 2 interceptions on a great quarterback that does not turn the ball over, and I think that propelled them. They were firing really team balance, offense, defense, great win, dominating.
Look at the bracket coming into tonight, the final 8. Anoka with a win over Lakeville North a couple of weeks ago. That was an upset. Anoka last night, 21-all with Minnetonka at halftime, and then the Skippers ran away in the second half. Shakopee, a close win against Mounds View last week. Maple Grove, we just showed you, winning easily over Edina, so that sets up our second semifinal with the Prep Bowl next Friday. The Vikings ship outside U.S. Bank Stadium. We get ready for kickoff. Shakopee and Maple Grove, top two teams in the state in Class 6A, fighting for a spot in next Friday night's 6A championship game, the Prep Bowl. Shakopee won the toss, and they will receive the opening kickoff. They want to go on offense right away, Ryan, try to get up on Maple Grove.
That's what you do. You play to your strength. Their strength is definitely their rushing attack and their offense. The only downfall is that if Maple Grove gets that quick 3-and-out, which we've seen them do in a number of games, they get the ball, good field position, then you're basically letting them have the ball to start both halves. So, interesting.
Henry Sievers kicking off, and it is returned by Emmanuel Tay. Gets out past
ball's on the ground, John.
Ball is fumbled, and Maple Grove has it.
Wow.
Right off the bat, a turnover, and the Crimson recover. Braden Dozier, who had the 2 interceptions last week
he's had a huge
against
couple
Edina, comes up with the recovery.
Well, and it was a heck of a move on the return. He great footwork, got some extra yards, big hit. You saw that ball come out on the ground. Heads up play, too, by Dozier. Let's see who knocked it out.
That was Jack Weigel knocked it out.
Yep. He ripped it out. Great awareness, too, by Dozier to get on this. Watch this right arm come in right there. You know, and I'll tell you, that's a skill. Teams practice that. Maple Grove practice that. Defensive, they practice trying to get that ball loose. And for plays just like that, what a momentum starter for the Crimson.
First contact by Brody Berglund, then Weigel, and then the recovery by Dozier. How about this for Maple Grove? 6 seconds into the game, they're 1st and 10 at the 22 of Shakopee.
Well, and that's what I mean. You know, now it's like they basically get the ball to start both halves, John.
Right.
And they're such a momentum team, and they play, right, offense feeds off of defense, defense off offense. So if the offense can punch this in, your defense is fired up, and that's how they get off to these great starts every quarter.
Caden Harney under center. Pitch goes to Chuck Langama. First play from scrimmage is a touchdown.
Well, if you're Adam Spurl, could you draw it up any better? You know, all week you're playing a team you haven't seen all year that's kind of different. Maybe you have a little bit of doubt or a little bit of question marks, right? Or, you know, I don't know if we're that much better. You get a fumble on the kick return, and then not only did you score, but untouched, you know, into the end zone. Watch how well that is blocked up front. Unbelievable.
Henry Sievers for the extra point. He's only kicked 1 field goal this year, Ryan, but 62 out of 64 extra points. It's their 65th TD of the season.
Well, and I don't think the 1 field goal is due to they didn't trust him. It's that they scored too many touchdowns, right? Watch the right side of this line of scrimmage. I mean, just some super blocking up front. You saw big Carson Lund up there. You see Ramadka downfield. I mean, look at they're holding blocks for 20 yards, John. I mean, that's just great team football right there. Yes, Chuck Langama is going to get a lot of credit, but when you don't get touched, you know everyone else is doing their job too. And you see how fired up Maple Grove is. I love Ramadka. Watch Ramadka. He was blocking. Look how happy he is. That's another characteristic of a championship team is that no one cares who gets the credit. You just want to win.
Ray Bennett, things couldn't have started worse for him. I mean, at the same time, it's still, 47 minutes of the minute. It's too much math for me. And 11 seconds gone into the game, and Ray Benton, who's done a great job here. Shakopee wasn't a great football program, was a terrific coach at Holy Angels, and now has turned the Shakopee team where they've been in the state playoffs for the last 5 years. Bouncing off a tackler there was Tay, and it's time gets into the open.
Oh, my.
He might go all the way. How about this for an answer? 7-6.
I was about to say they faced adversity though, and their coach has been through adversity before, and you take on the personality of your head coach, and that's how you respond. Couldn't have started worse for him, and what do you do on the kickoff? You take it to the house. And he looked like Christian Okoye there on the kickoff return, running through a Crimson player, and then he gets to the outside with that speed. That's why kickoffs, they always say nothing to the outside. He made his hole up the middle and got to the outside.
They got a hit on him but didn't wrap him up at all, and he just bounced off that and took it back the rest of the way. Quinn O'Fallon on for the extra point. He's 32 of 35 on point afters this season. If you have 14 points in the first 25 seconds on your bingo card, you're doing well tonight.
Or I hope you took the over. Yeah, Manuel Tate, he's had himself a really, really good year. I mean, he had 8 rushing touchdowns on the year. But watch him, look at that power. I mean, that was a big collision, but to your point, John, just got to wrap up. Will Raymond was there. And I'll tell you what, for Tate to take that hit and then have the speed to just pull away from some pretty good athletes there. He finishes the run like he's running in a track meet.
99-yard kickoff return. And it's 7-7, 25 seconds into the game. I can say I've never seen a start like this in all my years of football. 2 touchdowns and a turnover. Yeah. In 25 seconds. Now everybody's loose, right?
I was going to say, which start would you rather have?
Well,
I mean, ultimately, Maple Grove gets an extra possession out of it.
Yes,
but
let's look at the ball to start the second half.
But you could kind of say either one is the way you want to do it, right? Come out, jump on them, but then, hey, how do we respond? And both teams really solid.
Kickoff by O'Fallon, but it will be returned. This is Reggie Williams out past the 25, brings it out to the 29-yard line where he's brought down by Blake Benton.
I mean, that wasn't a bad return, but doesn't he know we needed a score on that play to keep up with the rest of the game? Now you kind of settle down, though, right? And you take a look. I mean, one of the biggest reasons, I know we talk about their running game and defense a lot, but Caden Harney has just had an incredible season. Again, I'm so impressed with his poise, his completion percentage, and then you look at that 16 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He takes good care of the football, too.
He's also run for 6 scores. We'll go back to Lungama, and this time he's not going to go for a touchdown. Gets a yard, maybe 2, out to the 31-yard line.
Yeah, Maple Grove really is, for the last about 10 years, John, every quarterback's been able to run that ball, too. Good size, strong kids. They can finish around the goal line.
Yeah, go back to Brad Davison.
He was a good runner,
Yep.
Kilsner, of course, was a tremendous runner.
Second down and 8. Crimson on their second possession from their 31. Go back to Lungama again. Little seam. Knocks over a one would-be tackler and gets a few more yards. Jacob Lee couldn't bring him down initially, and a good second down run for Lungama.
That looked like the kickoff return we just saw. Just some good contact. Pretty good form, too, by Jacob Lee. He was low. But again, we talked about the power of both of these really good running backs. But Lungama, we've seen the speed there. He shows off the power.
Gain of 6, third down and 2.
And those are the plays that win games, John, because now you have third and manageable instead of 3rd and 8.
Give to the fullback. This is Bo Draheim hitting the backfield, and he's not going to make it.
That's really good defense. Brody Miller coming up from the safety position, and that's what you got to do as a safety. You got to clean up. 3rd and 2. I mean, power versus power. Watch this initial contact, too. Right there. Neither player backs down, and Draheim keeps those legs moving, but really nice job Miller coming up to finish it off.
Benton and Michael Neighbor on the initial contact, and so Maple Grove will have to punt. Fair catch signal for and handle the 38. Not a terribly long punt.
I'm surprised they didn't go for it there, John.
Well, you Dan Campbell, you're inside your 40 there.
Look, what does Maple Grove average per play on the year? Do you know what I mean? They have so many different weapons. There's Judah Forsberg. You know, not asked to throw a lot. He's a very good runner. You see the almost 500 yards. They will throw, and they will do it, you know, when you least expect it. And they've hit some big plays this year. So he's a capable thrower, just not asked to do it as much.
First down, as you expect, on the ground of Maple Grove there on the drive back. Park for little or no game. Draheim there.
Dozier
Kevin
coming
Toe,
out. Yep.
Tozier. And if you get a meet at the ball, right?
Well,
it's
you're
going to take more than one guy.
As you look at the starters here for both teams, in Maple Grove with those linebackers, they're going to be bringing pressure. They're going to be coming a little bit closer to the line of scrimmage. But what you can also do is sneak safeties and corners. So right now, if they start with 4 or 5 guys in the box, but you're going to see a lot of Crimson coming up to defend the run.
Pitch to the outside, and then a nice cut back inside, and maybe getting the first down there on the second down run. Zach Doctor.
Yeah, I mean, and he's 74 yards a game rushing, 12 rushing touchdowns, so he's a big part of that rushing attack, and that's the discipline, right? You see the great fake, played really well blocked. You know, this team is going to present challenges because you got to defend each lane. They will attack up the middle. They'll attack wide. And defending that option, we just don't see it very often anymore. Teams aren't used to having to play that.
Artur gains 9. It is a first down from midfield. Cross midfield on that first down run. A couple of runs. They go back to Clark on his second carry.
Yeah, Weigel, nice job coming up. And that's what you got to do. It's very similar, John, to defending Elk River football, where you just never know who might have the ball. Lakeville South a couple years ago, I remember. It's really just disciplined gap football on the defensive side to stop a team like this.
Gain of 3, second down and 7. It's the quarterback keeping, and Forsberg almost had the ball stripped away. It is stripped away by Dylan Volkel.
If they don't give it to him, they're going to replay that because he was ripping that ball as they were falling to the ground.
Well, that's got to be a turnover.
Yep. You know, when I first saw it, it looked like I was thinking to Volkel, why aren't you tackling him? And then I realized he's ripping that ball. But watch, that ball is loose right there before that knee hits the ground. Yep. And you hear the Maple Grove cheering. They're showing it on the Jumbotron here, but that ball is loose. That is Maple Grove football.
It's funny because you and I off air were talking before the game about the 22 team. And we talked about Jacob Anderson, and he had a couple of plays like that late in the season. It was a defensive back and a wide receiver like Dylan Volkel, and Volkel here comes up with a big play.
It's the old cliche of they have a nose for the ball, right? It doesn't matter if it's offense or defense. They just always are right, by the ball, by the action. And Dylan Volkel, that's just a big-time play.
First down and 10 from the 46. Langama, big hole up the middle. He's got a first down into Shakopee territory.
And I actually thought if Chuck stayed left there, he might have had a seam to the end zone. He ended up cutting back to the right. Still a tremendous play. Again, great push. Look at the great kick-out block there by Draheim. And he cut back to the right into a safety coming over. You see the motion, the fired up. That offensive line's fired up.
First and 10, Crimson, now just outside the Shakopee 40. Harney will go to the air for the first time. He hit as he throws, and it's up in the air, intercepted. With a flag down in the defensive backfield. We'll see where this one goes, but it is picked off and returned a dozen yards by Brody Miller. Well, let's see what the flag is about.
Yeah, Dylan Volkel fell to the ground. I didn't know if he tripped or if there was contact that made him fall to the ground. And you're going to see here. Yeah, right there. That's contact, past that 5-yard marker. Nice play in the backfield. Brody Miller playing center field there. But, yeah, that's going to be illegal contact downfield.
break for Maple Grove, although the penalty legitimate call, but certainly instead of turning it over, you do keep the ball and get a first down here.
Well, Max Coles, number 54, put the pressure
Defense
on
number 24.
on the throw there.
10-yard
Marnie just not
penalty.
able to step into the
First
throw.
down.
That's why that throw hung in the air like that. You wonder, too, with Maple Grove going after the football like they have been, if that was a point of emphasis this week, that maybe they felt Shakopee's ball carriers maybe were loose with that. Because you saw it. I mean, both instances, guys, explicitly going for the ball almost instead of the tackle.
1st and 10, Maple Grove from the 32. Kama getting a heavy load here in the first quarter and gets a yard before he is tackled. Wrapped up there by Benton along with Michael Doring.
Yeah, Adam Spurl, first season, we've talked about it all year. Not an easy thing to do, taking over such a successful head coach prior to him, but he's come in and he's been himself. Kids love him, the program loves him, and he's done a really, really great job. And I listened to his speeches, John, after the games, because I'm usually down there waiting for the post-game, to do post-game, and he's constantly talking about details and doing the right thing, and you can see that with his team.
Gama again hit in the backfield and dropped for a loss. Hit initially by Max Coles, wrapped up by Michael Neighbor, who's their leading tackler this year.
Yeah, Neighbor with 116 tackles as we look at both starters here. Max Coles, 82 tackles. Between the two of them, John, 27 tackles for loss on the season. So those are their two best defensive players. And we've already seen Coles, impact this game with that pressure, that hit on Harney that would have been an interception.
Excluding that penalty, all six of the 7 plays for Maple Grove have been runs by Ungama, the other one by Draheim. Passing situation here. Harney knocked down at the line of scrimmage and incomplete. It's Max Coles again, the senior defensive lineman.
He's a stud. He starts as an offensive lineman. You see him here, defensive lineman. He's already made his presence known. Just a smart play, and that's instinct and just being able to react. Hey, I know I'm not going to get pressure. Let me get my arms up, make it difficult. He bats it down. What a play.
Be a long field goal try for Henry Sievers, probably 47, 48 yards. So they're going to go for it here on 4th and 8 from the Shakopee 30.
And I'm almost shocked that they didn't run the ball on 3rd down, try to get 4 or 5 yards even and make it a little bit more manageable. But they have a play, a route, something that they like.
Ball knocked away again at the line of scrimmage. Shakopee takes over on downs.
Andrew McGee. And every time that Harney's gone back to pass, John, he's been under pressure, and the defensive linemen are being really, really disciplined. As watch them get their arms up. That's just a great play. Yeah.
Great penetration into the backfield by McGee.
And Harney is not it's not like he's a short quarterback. He's got good height.
So the turnover doesn't hurt the Sabres. They get the ball back on offense. But a lot already happened in the first 7 minutes of the game. Give to Clark on 1st down, and he's hit by Jacob Urbanek. On the tackle of Jack Weigel.
Yeah. You see Weigel and Dozier, you're going to see them a lot more tonight against the run because they're coming down. And what you got to do basically, John, is every gap needs to be accounted for because they can run that trap. If you leave your gap because you think someone has the ball, the next play they're going to run right in your gap. You see really wide splits too between the offensive linemen. That's how they spread out. That's how they get a lot of that space.
On 2nd and 8. Forsberg wanting to throw, wrapped up and sacked. Ryder Skansen. Judah Forsberg couldn't find a receiver downfield and sacked for a loss of 5.
Well, Skansen, another one of those names who you add older brothers that have played here and were great, and he's making his mark on this program and this team at a rare pass play. And I actually thought Forsberg maybe could have thrown it away or dumped it to the running back there. That Jacob Kesper was out in the flat, but he ended up trying to make the guy miss. Just too good of tacklers.
3rd and 13.
I have to say I'm surprised a little bit. Both defenses doing their jobs against really good offenses.
There's Doctor, and he's wrapped up. Kevin Toe and Scanson on the stop for Maple Grove. Ethan Berry also there. And Shakopee will have to punt.
Well, and that's why if you can win that 1st and 2nd down, Shakopee does not want to be in 3rd and 11, 3rd and 12. Very much like Maple Grove. They're used to getting that 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1. And then you have kind of the whole playbook there. They tried to run a little counter. Maple Grove stayed disciplined, stayed home, 3 and out.
Jacob Lee is the punter for Shakopee. Good kick away, driving Dylan Volkel back, who fields it at his 28. Volkel out past the 40 and corralled there. Decent return, and line of scrimmage will be the 42.
Yeah, good punt there, a little high snap. It got off a good punt, but still pretty good field position for the Crimson.
Special teams tackle credit to Ethan Davis.
We started with a fumble on the opening kickoff. Then we had a touchdown run by Chucklingama. Then we had a kick return touchdown. And now it's kind of settled in.
Yeah, and I would be surprised to see a little play action, misdirection, try to get Harney an easy, quick throw, get his rhythm going a little bit.
Oliver Walseth in motion. Pitch goes to Lungama, and he's dropped in the backfield for a loss. You talked about the tackle for losses. They've had a lot of them. That time it's Jack Ove, senior defensive back. And Lungama loses 3.
Yeah, and a really nice job. And again, to stop the run of the Crimson, you got to have people coming up from their different levels, right? Defensive backs, corners, safeties. We've seen that a number of times on both sides. Corners and safeties coming up, making tackles at the line of scrimmage. That one for a loss.
2nd and 13. Harney wants to throw, a little screen pass. Lungama catches it, and he's hit immediately. Ball is out.
He was down.
Recovery, if it's, it looks like it is going to be a completion and a successful recovery by Maple Grove. But Michael Neighbor was there to make the tackle. And it's 3rd down.
Yeah, and a nice job by Lungama just to hang on to that ball. But well played. High throw. That's always hard to go up in the air like that, knowing you're about to. Well, they called it incomplete, correct?
I thought they called it a catch, and he was down, and then the ball came out. Regardless, the result was the same. 3rd and 13 here. Harney to throw to Volkel at the sideline for a catch. How big is that early in this game?
Wow, what a great route. And, just high football IQ. Dylan Volkel knowing where that 1st down was. He got a couple of yards past it, and that allowed him to come back to the ball just slightly. And you could tell they practiced this. They knew exactly where to go. Great job getting his foot down, too. That was not easy to do. You see him drag that left leg down, clearly inbounds. What a catch. And a great throw.
Gain of 15 to the Shakopee 47.
Let's see if that can spark them a little bit. Kind of their first big conversion offensively.
Roll out. Harney lofts it down the left side. Dreheim can't hang on. He was just a step behind Jacob Lee, but couldn't come up with the football.
Well, a heck of a job by Caden Harney just to get that ball there. He had to throw that going to his left with pressure coming right at him. So he kind of had to just get it up in the air, throw off his back foot a little bit. Actually, Shakopee really lucky. Jacob Lee mistimes his jump there.
Yeah, it's a touchdown if he hangs
catches
on.
that. You're right. That is a touchdown. That was a pretty unbelievable throw off his back foot like that going left, just to get enough on it to get it over the defensive back.
2nd down and 10. A little confusion for Maple Grove on offense and personnel. They take timeout here.
Maple Grove.
With
First start
2:08 to go
timeout
in
of the half.
Entertaining first quarter, right?
that tells me right there that they're off a little bit timing-wise offensively, right? See, I mean, if you've seen them all year have personnel issue, and that's okay. That's a good timeout, I think. And don't take the penalty. Get a chance to kind of reset, talk over what you want to do.
These teams have not played each other in 8 years. Maple Grove, in one of the early years for Ray Benton and Shakopee, won 48-17. The Crimson. Brad Davison, the quarterback, 4 touchdown passes for him that night.
Yeah, and you almost forget about Brad as a football player, right? Obviously went to Wisconsin, had a great career playing overseas now, but with Jacob Kilzer kind of taking that mantle and winning the state championship, and Caden Harney now, really taking that mantle too. So you forget how good Brad really was at
He was
football.
a terrific football player.
And you didn't realize either how big he was until you saw him in his pads. He was a good, strong kid.
2nd down and 10. Harney will keep. Even that Shakopee defense is not giving up much tonight.
Yeah, Casper coming up again from that outside linebacker coming up and making a really good tackle.
No gain. It'll be 3rd and 10.
Yeah, and you just don't see this often with the Crimson and not being able to kind of impose their will a little bit. It's almost like it's 2nd and 12. All right, we'll run. All right, we'll let Chuck touch it this time, and he gets you, 9-10 yards. So it's always 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2. They have not been winning 1st and 2nd down like they are usually accustomed to.
3rd and long again for the Crimson. They converted the last time. Harney under pressure, steps up. He's going to throw deep to the end zone. It is intercepted. Picked off by Blake Benton. Shakopee will take over.
What a great play by Blake Benton. Staying back, not allowing anyone to get beyond him, to get deeper than he was. But not only that, but to go up and make that play. He high-pointed that catch right at the top. That was a really good play. I thought it was a heck of a play by Harney just to get this throw off. Able to elude pressure, took a hit.
He's taking a lot of hits tonight.
If he could get 1 more yard on that pass, that probably would have been good. But look at that catch. That is an athletic catch.
Nathan Ramatka, the big tight end, the intended target on that. So with the touchback, Shakopee takes it at the 20. So Harney limped just slightly coming off the field. We'll take a look at him. Trying to bounce outside, and it's coming up. It's Dozier and makes the tackle for loss on Emmanuel Tay.
Yeah, it looks like probably an ankle, just getting some tape on it there. Yeah, he's taken a number of hits. Every time he's passed, he's been under pressure.
Tay's first carry tonight. Of course, he had the big kickoff return early, but his first run out of the backfield. A loss of 1, 2nd and 11.
See the unbalanced line all the way over to the left. Yep.
Let's go back to the last offensive play for Maple Grove and see if we can see where number 11 gets hurt here.
False start.
Down there after the
Number 78 of the offense.
Right, Goring.
5-yard penalty.
Don't you just cringe every time you see that possibility where someone could get rolled up on, and you see ankles, he's lucky, you see knees, it can be a really dangerous scenario. So hopefully nothing other than just a little tweak.
The false start on Shakopee backs them up 5. It's 2nd down and 16 from their 14-yard line. This is still the first quarter, Ryan. I feel like so much has gone on already. Horsburgh under center will give it to, no, we keep it after faking the handoff and gets the yardage back lost and a little bit more. It'll be 3rd down and 9. Bofina on the tackle.
The difference too, John, is you'll see some teams run, an option maybe once or twice a game, but they're not used to doing it. You can tell, Judah Forsberg is used to running the option. He's got great ball fakes, not afraid. He's a quick decision maker too. If he keeps it, he's quick and fast. So just something you're not used to seeing a lot anymore.
Couple of touchdowns, couple of turnovers. Good football here at US Bank Stadium. 7-7 after a quarter.
End of the
Maple
first
Grove and
quarter.
Shakopee on CCX.
In 1935, Topline Financial Credit Union was founded by workers from our local phone company, by people who dedicated their lives to keeping our community connected. At Topline Financial, that dedication lives on because we believe that dreams are achieved when we connect with each other. So if you're dreaming of buying a new home or car, or planning for your future, or saving for that next vacation, connect with us. We'll help you get there, because connected, we all do better.
John Jacobson, Ryan Iverson back. US Bank Stadium, start of the second quarter, Class 6A semifinals. Shakopee on a 3rd and long coming up to start the second quarter. Horsburgh running for his life, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's Ed Draheim and Thien on the tackle, and Shakopee will have to punt for the second time.
Yeah, both defenses really playing well. And I think you're seeing a little of the bread and butter of both of these offenses just not being able to work because defenses are been disciplined, contained, nowhere to go on the outside there.
Yeah, you talked in the last Maple Grove possession, the Crimson this season, for the most part, able to impose their will. I'm sure Shakopee's feeling the same about their offense, right? Like, hey, we can usually run 10, 12 yards at a time, and it hasn't happened tonight.
Did you see Bo Thien run all the way across the field there to make that play? Just great speed.
Volkel on the return, and he brings it back inside the 40 to the 36-yard line. It's kind of a low-line driver. Volkel catches on the run, and a good run back and good field position for Maple Grove.
Yeah, they've had pretty good starts, field position-wise. But this one's going to be their best yet. A short field here. Yeah, I mean, you look at total yards, 21 total yards for Shakopee in the first quarter, 56 for Maple Grove. These are, both offenses that are used to averaging over 400 total yards per game.
Ball on the left hash mark at the 37 of Shakopee to start this Maple Grove drive. Pitch to Lingama, and it's got 7 yards up the middle of the 30. It's best run since that first run, or second best run since the first touchdown run.
So, John, did you feel like he had a different speed to him from the start there? It wasn't a slower developing play. He got it, and he hit the hole, and that's how he ran the first carry of the game.
2nd and 3.
And sometimes it's just little things like how you start that first step out of your break as a running back, but going north and south, he is just so good. That's the speed, the tempo that they need to play with.
2nd and 3 from the Sabres 30. Lingama in motion. The give goes to Patrick Wright. His first carry tonight might go for a touchdown. No, knocked out of bounds at about the 3.
Oh, that's your backup running back. As we've said in other broadcasts, I mean, almost 600 yards, 8 rushing touchdowns. And the key to that, too, is Lingama's in that motion, and you get a couple of linebackers to lean that side, and a great vision, great cutback that time, too. And Wright cuts it back all the way to the right, almost gets into the end zone.
28 yards for the junior down to the 2. 1st and goal, Maple Grove.
Yeah, good tempo, a little diverse play calling there, exactly what the Crimson needed.
Get the Lingama, lowers his hand, and he's into the end zone. Strong enough and enough momentum to carry Michael Neighbor into the end zone, and Lingama's got a second TD tonight.
Yeah, I mean, there was contact right at the line of scrimmage. I thought he was going to go down. He just fired out of it. And getting that low center of gravity and those powerful legs, just keeping him moving. His momentum carries him into the end zone. Yeah, I mean, the Neighbor, like we talked about, 116 tackles coming into the year, a great tackler. That was just a good collision between two really good football players.
low snap.
Oh.
And Severs is taking, pushed it wide and then missed point after. We don't see very much from Maple Grove, and it's 13-7.
Well, what you see sometimes, John, is that when the snap, I mean, it was a great job of just collecting it and getting it on the tee. As we take a look at that end zone, watch where this collision happens. Right there at about the 2-yard line. And you see how low he got, and he almost turned around backwards, able to kind of back and power his way into the end zone. Great collision there. Just great power. But going back to that extra point, if you watch, even when the snap is bad, it throws the timing off of the kicker. And sometimes they end up rushing it. You see, he just pushed it to the right. Snap got down okay. But you take a bad step or you pause a little bit, and then you feel like you got to make up for it, and you rush it. You end up pushing it to the right.
Gama, his second touchdown tonight, 16th of the season, with Maple Grove back in front. See Michael Wagner there, 57, drenched in sweat. We talked to the guys this week, and they have known from past teams and players who were on the team 2 years ago. It's dry in here. It's much warmer than you think, especially when you've been, well, they practice inside this week, but
it's not the same.
No,
yeah.
right. It's a much drier and warmer in here.
So, John, I had never had a cramp in my life. We played in 2 prep bowls at the Metrodome, and very similar. It was so hot, and you worked, you're pumped up to begin with, and I ended up cramping in the first quarter because I was already drained. I was dripping sweat. So it's a really good point. You have to be able to conserve your energy, and you got to get fluids in you when you're inside. But I think most people would take this over being outside and 10 degrees.
Because it means you're playing in the state semifinals at least, right?
Remember those couple of years when it was at the Gophers Stadium, right? Remember how cold some of those.
At TCF.
Is that when Osseo won it, I believe, one of those years?
2015.
Yep.
The run here is by Zach Doctor, his second carry tonight. After the touchback on the kickoff, Doctor only gets a couple of yards out to the 22.
And again, you have to defend Shakopee inside out, John. What I mean is you got to take away that dive, that quick play to T.J. Clark, but you can't have everybody collapse on the inside. So you got to firm up the inside, then your outside guys got to continue to come and pursue the ball. There's just been no gaps for Shakopee.
Give to Clark, and he is hit and still has good strength to get a couple more yards. Sam Hansen hit him at about the point of attack, but Clark is able to drag Hansen a couple of yards. It'll bring up 3rd down and 4.
Yeah, and it looked like Hansen was going after that ball, which might have been why he didn't wrap him up. You can see he tried to get his arm on that ball. It's a very clear point of emphasis tonight. Maple Grove going after the football. A much more manageable 3rd down here for Shakopee. 3rd and 4. Kind of got everything on the table.
On the 26, Clark is not going to make it. He's going to be a yard short. So 3 runs of 3 yards each. And what does Ray Benton do here? 4th down and 1. Your offense certainly very capable of picking up a yard, but you're inside your 30 at the same time.
You go for it. You do. You got a yard. You've been a great running team all year. Give your guys a chance to go make that play. If you lose because you can't get a yard, you live with it. I always go for it 100 times out of 100.
Crimson fans on their feet looking for a stop, and it is a 1st down. Spinning out to the 35-yard line, and a gain of 6 yards. It's Clark again.
And that's so much bigger, John, than just picking up the 1st down. It's telling your team, I believe in you guys. Hey, this is not a good scenario. It's at our own 30. If we don't get this, it could really hurt us. Instead, nope, we're going to run. We're going to give it to our best player, T.J. Clark. And you can see he just said, I'm going to go get you a 1st down. He fought like crazy. I like that call by Shakopee.
1st and 10 from out past their 35. Back to Clark again, breaking tackles. He's out past the 40. Scanson and Urbanek drag him down, but another good run. He picks up 6 here.
It's like a pitball machine, isn't it? Right. Like he's just hitting it quick, and there's no moves. It's just power bouncing off. You see 3 or 4 Crimson coming in. 1, 2, 3. I mean, you saw 3 or 4 missed arm tackles. You just don't see that with Maple Grove. Such good tacklers normally.
second down and 5. Get it again. And he's got a first down and into Maple Grove territory. That's a gain of 11. The last 3 runs, Ryan's carried the ball the last 3 plays, 6, 5, and 11.
And again, a good job up front, a nice double team there on the right side of the line of scrimmage. And that's what you got to do. If you're Shakopee, we're going to give a ball to TJ Clark. He's been our season, our best running back, our best player all season. Let's roll with him. They gave it to him on 4th down, and he's almost seemed like he's gotten stronger since that 4th down pickup.
A new set of downs from the 48. Clark, hit here and driven back. Jacob Robbinsdale.
Leading tackler for Maple Grove. And was he right at the line of scrimmage. He's coming with pressure. Look at him swim, move, get off of the block, and still make the tackle. That's such a hard play. He's not running free there. He's got a lineman. He basically just slithers around, and we call that a swim move, where you fake, kind of lift your arm up. Running back came right to him. That's a big-time play.
2nd and 11. Clark's first loss on a carry tonight. It's the quarterback, Forsberg, keeping. He might have a first down here. He's very close to it. Looks like perhaps just a touch shy, a yard shy, but he does pick up 10.
Yeah, and he's not running a ton. He's getting about 6, 7 carries a game, but Johnny's getting over 8 yards a carry. So when he does do it, he's usually making the right read. He's reading that edge. Does that edge stay wide with the option man? And you see him. He turns it up north and south. He's got good speed. And that's a big pickup, because now you're back into that 3rd and manageable again.
Good long possession here for Shakopee. They've got a 3rd and 1 from the Maple Grove 39. Backs off. And Shakopee will take their first timeout tonight.
Shakopee, first charge timeout of the half.
We talked about Maple Grove and the quick start they had, not only tonight, but they've had most all season. Look at the amount they have outscored opponents by this season. And it's incredible. If you break that down even more into the first half, it's crazy how much they have outscored their opponents in the first 11 games.
Well, and this is why they're the favorite to win the state championship, is they got great balance. Look at that. 375 yards of offense. They run and pass. They run a little bit more, but pretty good balance there. But then defensively, 171 yards. That's unbelievable. And then you look at 8 defensive touchdowns. So you got a potent offense, you got a stingy defense, but you also have a playmaking defense that can not only get stops, but can actually score for you. And we've seen, one on a kickoff, but one on defensively. Just ripping the ball out of the hands of players on Shakopee. So just a really good balanced team Maple Grove is.
Each team 2 timeouts left, 3rd and 1, and Clark is hit by Kevin Toe. No gain, maybe even lost a little bit. 4th down.
We said Toe's name a lot last week. I thought he had a good week against Edina, and comes in here. What a play. 3rd and 1. And not only did he make the tackle, but he got back an extra yard or so. So it's not like this 4th down is a 4th and inches. It's a full 1.5 yards. That was a big time play by the nose tackle there. Got great quickness for a nose tackle.
Forsberg will hand off, and looks like he's got enough. Well, I don't know. Very close to a first down. Maple Grove doesn't think so, but I thought he got enough of a lean there, Clark, to get a first down. We'll see where the spot is. He said he needed a full yard. I think he got it a good 1.5 yards there. It is.
Yeah. Ooh, that's very close. I think right there where he leaned, he kind of was going down, his body went forward another 0.5 yard, enough for the first down. So, we've had a 4th down conversion at their own 30, and there was a 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1.5. So big time conversions here by Shakopee. Those are things Maple Grove throughout the year, they've usually won those 3rd and criticals on defense.
Forsberg will keep, and a flag comes in, and the offensive backfield, probably a hold against the Sabres.
And again, you see the craftiness by Forsberg. When he does keep it, he's slippery.
Third penalty denied on Shakopee, and this will back him up 10. So instead of Ryan, 2nd and 5, now you're backed up. You get a 1st and 20.
Yeah, you could. I think what you got there.
Got a hold. Number 56 of the offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot
Great
of the
player.
foul. Repeat first down.
He's one of those athletic guards. He's on the move. You can see him on the outside right there. You see that arm come around. I don't think Robbinsdale would have made that play anyways, but
when you see the guy get turned,
him
right
turn,
in
and then
front
when
of
you
him.
got an arm on the side like that
Yeah.
too. I mean, I don't know if he held him much, but sometimes it's more just about appearance.
1st down and 20. Doctor, and he's wrapped up. A solo tackle by Jack Weigel.
Weigel and Dozier, John, the last couple of weeks and here tonight, they have made some great plays. That's more of a traditional running play, one of the few ones we've seen tonight where there was no ball fakes. It was just a toss sweep. And what happens with that is Maple Grove, you see, look at the Crimson pursuit out there. Weigel, too good. He's not going to let you get to the outside. And their ability to tackle in space, so good.
No gains, 2nd and 20. Line of scrimmage, the Maple Grove 47. We're down to 3 minutes to go here in the 2nd quarter. Maple Grove up 13-6. Doctor will get the call again, trying to cut back to the right and gets back the yardage lost on the penalty, but it'll still be 3rd down and long. Robbinsdale there, Draheim and others. A gain of about 10 yards.
That's huge, setting up again that 3rd and manageable. And a little bit slower developing play, getting that misdirection coming back. That's a play Maple Grove, again, usually snuffs out at the line of scrimmage, but well blocked and a nice cutback, too.
Give them 9. It's 3rd and 11 in 4-down territory for the Sabres. Forsberg wanting to throw, flushed out, and in a lot of trouble, and down he goes. Sam Hansen, Jacob Robbinsdale, Ethan Berry. There's a Crimson party in on Forsberg. Had no shot at all there.
No, and it just total team defense. There was 3-4 Crimson in the backfield there.
Timeout.
And you
Maple
can tell
Grove. Second charge.
Forsberg here.
Timeout.
He's going to get to the outside. Had no idea what was coming
Please
behind him.
reset the clock.
Mostly Robbinsdale,
to
actually.
2
All
minutes,
Robbinsdale.
12 seconds.
A lot of pressure, but it was number 4 that put him away. Loss of 13. Maple Grove will take a timeout here with 4th and 23 coming to preserve some time on the clock.
Yeah, that's smart. And if I'm them, I'm going after this punt too. You take Robbinsdale getting off of him, great speed, and your eyes light up when someone actually turns into you and you know they don't know you're coming. That's a great feeling. He's fired up. So I'll tell you, giving up some yards. Shakopee with a nice drive, a couple of big conversions, but Maple Grove, when it counted most, are able to get a couple of big plays and tackles for losses. And that penalty, too, I think,
That
ended
penalty
up
really hurt.
hurting because you got to remember it was 10 yards from where the hold happened, and so it moved him back quite a bit.
Lead a punt for the 3rd time. Volkel dropping back to his 15. Pressure, kick away. Volkel handed right at the 15-yard line. The 20. And the 28 before he spun down there on a return of 13 yards. Tackle made by Robbie Dismukes.
Yeah, I mean, that's his 3rd punt. This is a team, Shakopee, John, that only had 14 punts on the whole year. So, and Maple Grove, too, not used to punting very often. So both of these offenses, a defensive struggle.
Look this year at some of the highlights from Chuckle and Gama. Just look what a great runner he is, a punishing runner, doesn't go down easily, and the touchdowns he's had this season, 16 of those have been rushing TDs, and he's a fun guy to watch.
I go back to that Eden Prairie game. Remember that run he scored where he came, I mean, he ran about 110 total yards on the play.
And gets the call here, still on his feet. Breaks a tackle, stays in bounds, and all the way down to the 30-yard line of Shakopee. How about number 21 there?
Oh, just beautiful footwork. And again, it's all about having that low center of gravity. And he just doesn't quit. He keeps those legs going. Good blocking again up front, down there. But right there, you got 3 players. Oh, is there a flag on the play?
Either flag or he stepped out. Oh, he might have stepped out.
Oh.
Yeah, no flag. He was out closer to midfield, it looks like.
I mean, look at the footwork, the spin. I mean, there was 4, 5 Shakopee. Yeah, right there, he stepped out. 5 Shakopee players that had a hand on him. And that's probably the thing that I think makes him so electric, John, is that he can turn, something where there's just not a lot of space into a touchdown at any time. He's done it multiple times.
Timeout Shakopee. Minute 50 to go. So instead of that 42-yard run, still a run of 22 for Langama. Gets him out to midfield, Ryan. Still a timeout remaining for the Crimson and nearly 2 minutes to go.
Plenty of time. You don't have to even throw. You can still run a couple plays.
And how big would a score be here? You'd go up 2 scores and get the ball to start the second half.
It could be. It will be absolutely huge, and also maybe allow you to go for 2 and give that extra point, that was missed back too. But yeah, if you could go up 2 scores here, John, and then also start the second half, I mean, that is a huge momentum builder for the Crimson.
Harney's had trouble tonight. I mean, not so much that he's playing poorly, but he's been pressured tonight.
He's been uncomfortable, right?
Right. The one big completion to Volkel on a 3rd down, threw the interception, though, into the end zone. And but they might need to move the ball through the air here in the last minute 50. But, again, still plenty of time, or you don't have to do that.
He had a great throw on a 3rd and 13 that they converted, and that was the only time where he got rid of it quick, wasn't under pressure. So if they can give him time, again.
Throwing downfield, and not much of a chance there for Volkel. Draheim also kind of in the area.
And again, he had to get rid of that about a second earlier, and that's why that ball's overthrown a little bit. But if you're going to miss, you want to miss long. You don't want that ball intercepted. But you saw pressure coming from the top of our screen there. Someone was unblocked coming on a delayed blitz, and that's the thing. You got to figure out a way to pick up those guys so he can step into his throws, because when he does, he's a 65%, 70% passer, very accurate.
2nd down and 10. Clock stops a minute 46 to go in the first half. Play action. That time to throw. Harney over the middle and just overthrew his receiver, Volkel. It's 3rd and 10.
Well, in that play action, and that time there was great blocking. There is a flag on the play. It came late, but he had the time, able to step in and, put a good ball on it, just a little overthrown. That's what can happen when you're playing here. You get a little adrenaline. You don't realize how amped up you are. And plus, he's been under pressure, so you're just playing a little bit faster.
Looks like it's against Maple Grove, looking toward Shakopee, see what they want to do here. They take the completion.
Hold, right, in the backfield? Yeah, because it would either be 3rd and 10.
Holding. Number 66 of the offense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot.
And set up 2nd and 20 instead of 3rd and 10.
See if we can see him still in south there. Oh. I did not see much of a hold there.
First penalty of the night against Maple Grove. Backs them up to their 40. Harney under pressure again, just had to get rid of it.
And a big hit. And that was Max Coles again, number 54, who's said his name a lot tonight, but play action, unblocked. And it's not the hit, it's the fall, and then having all that momentum and that size coming on. That's how you can hurt a shoulder, too. So this is by far the most we've seen Caden Harney hit in a game. And again, a throw that he's not going to miss, normally. 1 for 8.
Yeah, that one pass that I thought was a completion on Gama for 0 yards was incomplete. So, just 1 of 8, just the pass to Vocal. Has time here. Harney throwing and gets a big completion here down inside the 20.
Oh, are they saying incomplete?
Did not hang on. It looks like it is incomplete. Lamotka didn't secure the ball. Good coverage downfield by Shakopee to break that up, too.
Good coverage. That ball's put right on the money. Oh, yeah, you see it, It was hard to see it from our angle because his shoulder blocked it. But how about the confidence in Caden Harney? Let's go right back to him. And how about he stepped into, again, under pressure. That pocket was collapsing, stepped in and put a good throw on.
Seaver's a good punt. Yep. Down by Dozier at the 13, and Shakopee got a timeout to go. I can't imagine I'm going to do anything too crazy here.
No, I think it's one where if you get maybe 20 yards on the first carry, you call a timeout and you think, all right, maybe we can add a score here. But the last thing you want to do is take a chance, turnover, put the ball in the air, anything like that, and give Maple Grove another short field and a chance to score. If you're Shakopee, you go into the halftime, I think 13-7 right now, you take it.
47-yard punt with no return.
Yeah, that was a big-time punt. Got good bounce.
We'll give to Clark. No, it's Forsberg keeping. And he gets out past the 20, the 22. Vocal with the tackle, a gain of 9.
And you can see Maple Grove, I think, doing a nice job. They're taking Doc Tour and that pitch man out of it, and they're forcing Forsberg to keep the ball. And he's been successful running it tonight, but I think they feel like we'd rather Forsberg run it than Doc Tour.
Shakopee in no hurry here. The clock continues to run under a minute to go.
I'm a little surprised there. He got 9 yards. At least run a play quickly.
And he's dropped for a loss here. The fake, and Urbanic gets up and makes the tackle along with Berry.
Yeah, Ethan Berry getting off the block, getting into the backfield. Really well defended there.
Loss of 2. It's 3rd down and 3. Shakopee doesn't have to snap the ball, and I doubt they will.
John, in 5th grade, I was a lineman, and I was too big. I couldn't carry the football in youth football.
Black striper.
We played. I was a defensive end. Quarterback came at me, and I faked at him, and then I jumped out. I got my big mid on that pitch, and I caught it, and I ran about 70 yards. The running back jumped on my back. I ran with him on my back. So I'm always curious. It always worries me when those quarterbacks are pitching for the option because just a bad time, bad bounce, something, and you can get a turnover.
2 touchdowns from Charles Lingama has put number 1 Maple Grove in the lead. It's a tight game so far, though. The Sabres and the Crimson from US Bank Stadium. 13-7 Maple Grove. More football on CCX after this.
At Topline Financial Credit Union, we love getting to be part of our members' big moments. Whether it's making home improvements, going to school, building a business, or even getting married. An interest-only home equity line of credit with payments as low as $50 per month can help you get there. It's just one of the ways we're helping our members on their financial journeys. Become a Topline member and let us be a part of yours, because connected, we all do better.
Class 6A semifinal football from US Bank Stadium. Maple Grove 13, Shakopee 7 at the half. Highlights from the first half of play, and man, it did not take long for this to get going. On the opening kickoff, A forced fumble and a recovery by Braden Gosher from Maple Grove.
Man, nice job by Jack Weigel. They're coming in, raking that ball out. Couldn't ask for a better start here for Maple Grove.
First play from scrimmage. Chuck Lingama off the right side, and 11 seconds into the game, Maple Grove leads 7-0.
Did we have to wait long for the next score?
We did not have to wait long at all. On the ensuing kickoff, Emmanuel Tay did a hit the contact there inside the 30, and then he's gone. Great. 99 yards for a touchdown. Extra point was good, and 25 seconds into the game, it's 7-7.
Yeah, and I think that kind of evened both teams out a little bit, and then they just settled down. Both defenses playing really well.
Patrick Wright with a good run in the second quarter that sets up a touchdown. A couple of plays later, it's Lingama into the end zone. Extra point missed after this TD. They make it 13-7, and that's where we are as we look at the first half numbers. Just 67 yards of total offense for Shakopee, and for Maple Grove, that's way under their season average too. 114, only 15 passing yards for them. Some penalties on each side. 2 turnovers for Shakopee. Maple Grove able to cash in on that first one.
Yeah, and you got to remember too, I mean, that's one completion for Caden Harney, right? He's used to being so accurate with the football, and not necessarily his fault. He's been under duress. They're going to have to find a way to get him time. They need that balance, John, offensively.
We're up on the 4th level of US Bank Stadium tonight. John Jacobson, and I've lost Ryan Iverson. Where did he go? Oh, there he is. Look at that.
I'm getting skinny enough to actually hide behind the monitor.
How about that?
No, it's a lot of fun being in here.
But how much fun is this for us and for the team, the fans, be here at US Bank Stadium to take all this in?
Well, there's just something. It's knowing you're playing where the Vikings play. It's just such an experience, and it also is a accumulation of knowing that you've had a great season to get here. You've earned the right to be here, and even as us as adults and broadcasters, it's still fun to come in here and you feel. We've been in the other booth before where all the big networks do the big Vikings games, so it's just a lot of fun to be here and a lot of fun seeing Maple Grove play well.
Game started yesterday in all the classes, and they'll continue through Saturday in the Prep Bowl, next Friday and Saturday, right back here at US Bank Stadium. Take a break, come back, second half on the way. One half, someone's going to state, the Crimson or the Sabres. We'll find out who next.
In 1935, Topline Financial Credit Union was founded by workers from our local phone company, by people who dedicated their lives to keeping our community connected. At Topline Financial, that dedication lives on because we believe that dreams are achieved when we connect with each other. So if you're dreaming of buying a new home or car, or planning for your future, or saving for that next vacation, connect with us. We'll help you get there, because connected, we all do better.
Downtown Minneapolis, US Bank Stadium, ready for the start of the second half. Maple Grove, Shakopee, 6A football semifinal. Crimson up by 6 and will receive the opening kickoff here in the second half.
Yeah, and you look at Maple Grove on the year, their lowest scoring game, 21 points at Centennial, and then 31 at Minnetonka. So Shakopee, I think you've got to be really pleased defensively how they've played tonight.
Reggie Williams on the return of the Quinn O'Fallon kick. Pretty well covered by the Sabres. They bring him down after a return of 18 yards out to the 23-yard line.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what adjustments we see, both teams. But Maple Grove offensively, do they change their blocking scheme? Maybe keep an extra guy in to try to get, a little bit more time for Harney. And remember, too, we saw a lot of Chuck Lingama early. I'd be surprised to see him get, a big bulk of carries here to start.
10 carries for 71 yards for Lingama and 2 touchdowns.
And yet it seems like they've held him in check, doesn't it?
Right.
I mean, other than a couple of bigger runs, they've done a really nice job.
They'll get a penalty right off the bat for Maple Grove. It's their second penalty tonight. A movement on the right side. It'll be 1st and 15 for the Crimson.
False start. Number 71 of the offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
So that backs Maple Grove back up inside their 20-yard line. First and 15 from their 17-yard line. They start the second half. Draheim and Lengama on the backs. Draheim gets the carry, only the second carry he's had tonight, and he gets it out past the 25 to the 26-yard line on a gain of 9.
Yeah, and I like to see that, and it's almost like you wonder if they want to maybe set a more physical tone here. Not that Chuck Lengama doesn't run hard. We've seen him break multiple tackles, but you get Draheim going. Watch him just like a bowling ball out there. The power, runs with a little bit of an attitude. Maybe that sparks them a little bit. They got the penalty yards back plus another 4 yards. Set up second and manageable.
On second down and 6 from the 26. Lengama picks a hole, and he's got a first down out past the 30 to the 31.
Did you see that little subtle
short of the first down
cut back to the left? He was slow getting up there. It almost looks like everyone's a little sluggish, John, a little tired. And again, maybe it's because of the being indoors and the adrenaline and all that, but you don't see the same bounce that you normally see. You see Chuck Lengama 6.9 yards, which is actually a decrease from what he normally averages per carry. Third and nice and manageable here.
At 5 on the needed 6, 3rd and 1. They get the carry again. He's going to be dropped for a loss. Back to the 28-yard line. Michael Doring came in, initial contact, and the rest of the Sabres finished off Lengama on a loss of 2.
I'm surprised that they ran this and bounced it outside. I thought maybe we'd see Draheim right up the middle with some power running, but it's strung out. Shakopee did a great job. Watch him attack the inside. He has to bounce this outside, and just really nice pursuit there.
Great backside pursuit, right, by both Doring and Andrew McGee.
Came all the way from the weak side there.
Severs with a kick, fair caught back at the 37. 35-yard kick, no return. So Shakopee, a good job on defense. They get the 3 and out on Maple Grove. And they trail just by 6. Under the missed extra point there after the second Lengama touchdown.
Yeah, and you see Lengama looks a little frustrated there. Again, just Maple Grove timing, everything looks just a little bit off from what we're normally seeing. And not only that, but I think you give credit, too, to Shakopee's defense. They came to play tonight.
First down, and Forsberg. I don't know if that was supposed to be something else or that was just the design of the play, a little fake and hoping to catch the defense, and it only got 2.
It looked like all the backs were heading to the left, and Forsberg coming back to the right. Maybe turned the wrong way there. But, hey, a heads-up play. He was stuck in the backfield. He turned it up, headed upfield, able to at least get a yard or so out of it.
Second down and 9, Sabres. Their first possession of the second half. Ball on their own 38-yard line.
And I think a big drive for Shakopee, John. Offensively, just haven't gotten a lot going.
Forsberg again, and gets a little more room, but then Vogel shut that down in a hurry, but still got 4 or 5 yards there, bring up third down. About 5 to go.
Yeah, and Doctor, again, usually gets that pitch. Number 6, you see him out there, Maple Grove, you can tell, wanting to take that pitch away, trusting that they're going to have pursuit coming from the middle of the field. And that's, that's why Forsberg has kept it more here, but did get yards, set up third manageable.
On third down and 4, they'll give to T.J. Clark, and he'll be close. I think a little bit short of the first down. Crimson certainly thinks so.
Yeah, he's short, but I'll tell you, that was a great effort right at the end. He would have been about 2 yards short and still got that momentum going forward. It's going to be fourth and about a foot and a half.
Clark's 14th carry tonight.
Yeah, good contact right there. And you'd see just that last push forward and that pile up kind of moving that way too. And they're going to go for it just like they did in the first half.
4th and less than 1. Sabres in their own territory. Give to Clark, has the first down and more into Maple Grove territory, and he picks up 6.
Yeah, and I like that they did that in the first half on the 4th down. Is you get a quick hitter to Clark, who's so quick and powerful. You see he runs through an arm tackle there. He's going to get you a yard almost every time he runs the ball. So Shakopee obviously feels very comfortable converting those 4th and shorts.
Only their 5th first down tonight. Not that Maple Grove's out of town. They've only had 6. Teams that have put up so much offense this year, it says a lot about how this defense, and both sides are playing these defenses.
Well, and you can see, too, we talked about the strategy. When you're a running football team, you have to win 1st and 2nd down to get 3rd and short. And we've seen Shakopee move the football, but then have a play where they get lost yards, and it ends up being 3rd and long, and that's not where they can be really successful. So there was a little bit of a 3-yard gain. Can Maple Grove win this 2nd down? That's going to be a really big factor in continuing these drives.
2nd down and 7. Some numbers on Clark tonight, under 50 yards.
Yeah, and averages 122 per game.
Give the call again, and nothing doing. Kevin Toad dragging him back. Sam Hansen, Ethan Berry, Boldreheim all in on the tackle of Clark. It'll be 3rd and long.
Yeah, Kevin Toe has been really impressive. Using that quickness off the ball. He's not that big to be a defensive lineman, but he's so quick and athletic, and he got him from behind. Watch him hold on to him from behind here. It doesn't allow him to get that momentum to keep getting an extra yard or two. That was a big-time play by Toe. That was a big toe.
Good one. No gain, 3rd and 7. From the Maple Grove 43. Octor in motion. He gets the pitch here, and he's going to be hit and dropped for a loss. Berry on the tackle for loss for Maple Grove.
You notice, John, that's the 2nd time they've ran that toss sweep where there's no play fake. Maple Grove just so fast, and there's just been nowhere to go on the outside. I think Shakopee needs that fake on the dive just to slow down. Watch the speed of Maple Grove. And again, if you can set that edge and not allow a guy to get to the outside, just great team defense. Berry with great quickness, too, for a defensive end. And a pretty big kid.
4th and 11. And Shakopee will have to punt. Kick away by Lee. And fair caught this time by Vogel at his 14-yard line. And so each team's had the ball in the second half, and we stay up 13-7.
Yeah, I thought Vogel had some space there where he could have caught that and maybe gotten a return going there. So that, you know what, it's always better to make the safe play, make sure you get the catch, right? But offensively, I can tell you, I haven't seen it this year where Maple Grove has been stifled like this. Usually such good balance, power runs and setting up play action, kind of firing on all cylinders.
From the 14, Trey Heim gets the carry on first down, gains 3 out to the 27-yard line. Tackled by Jacob Casper. 2nd down and 7, ball at the 17-yard line.
Yeah, not a lot there. He did a nice job of just avoiding contact at the line of scrimmage, able to power forward. I think, too, you look at Shakopee, good size up front. Their offensive and defensive line's pretty good size. And they got those similar athletes at linebacker like Maple Grove. It always does, too.
Arnie wants to throw, hit as he throws, it's intercepted. Unable to stay in bounds, or that would have been a pick 6. Blake Benton, the sophomore defensive back, with the pickoff.
Yeah, and again, it's the same thing we've been saying all night, John, is just no time for Caden Harney. As he's stepping into that, he's taking a hit, and so he can't get any power into that. You see the ball really floated softly to the outside. Lots of pressure coming. You see him getting hit, and that ball obviously underthrown and hung in the air. And in a great spot was Blake Benton, his 2nd pick of the night. Remember, he had that great athletic pick in the end zone earlier, and he knew if he could have stayed in bounds, he would have been able to score.
Forsberg breaking tackles, and he's down to the 11.
And you see the momentum here for Shakopee. A big play. Offense comes out. Great job keeping it again by Forsberg, whose decision-making has been excellent. And Maple Grove, again, continuing to take that pitch away, but it's allowed Forsberg to turn it up. And he's gotten quite a few big carries tonight. That one's for 9 yards. You see, he was a little bit slow getting up.
He took a hit at the end there. I wonder if they're going to, they're going to take him off the field.
You can see blood coming out of his mouth, too. Yeah, his head hit the ground hard. Yeah, you can see toe coming down, kind of turned his neck a little bit, and you can see he got hit with his chin strap and his helmet. That's probably what cut his mouth.
Oh, the ball is fumbled, but Shakopee lucky to get on it. There's a flag out as well. Jake Quartz, is the backup quarterback. Fumbled, but Clark recovered. There's a flag down as well.
Number 4 of the offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
Shakopee penalty. Back them up 5 yards here.
And they're actually lucky that they recovered that, because that ball was on the ground. Maple Grove usually so quick to getting on those loose balls. That's a hard ask for anyone, Quartz to come in like that, not being able to warm up. It's not like he knew he was coming into the game, so you're cold, not easy to do, and heads up play, I think that was Clark that got on top of that.
And one play is all it takes for Forsberg, and he's back in. 2nd and 6 from the 16 of Maple Grove. Handoff, and the ball briefly comes out again, but it's like Shakopee got back on it. Tay, who had that kickoff return, has his second carry in the backfield tonight. Lost his lid at the end of that play. He's going to have to come out for a play.
Yeah, there's that misdirection, that counter coming back. There's the ball out. Oh, Tay with great hands, able to corral that ball back in. That's some good hitting there. Maple Grove by Robbinsdale.
3rd and 3. Shakopee trying to take the lead for the first time tonight. Forsberg's going to throw an incomplete. He didn't have a chance on that throw intended for Marcus Bailey.
Yeah, and good coverage, not being fooled. Dozier staying home. I was surprised on that. I thought they'd run it up the middle with Clark, at a minimum get 1 or 2 yards. Then you got 4th and short. 4th and 3, that's a different animal than 4th and 1. Shakopee a little slow getting that play in. Wanted to make sure they get the right play call. That play clock's down to 10 seconds. Yeah, 3 for 3 tonight. They've converted them all, but they've all been short. Wonder if they go to Clark here, or if they try to get the defense to collapse and go to the outside.
4th and 3 it is it's with pitch. Doctor's wrapped up in the backfield, and Maple Grove takes over on downs.
Yeah, had me fooled. I thought Clark had it. He probably would have had the first down. Instead, they did. They tried to get the defense to collapse into the interior and get to the outside. Really well defended. Look at all the Crimson running out there. Dylan Vogel did not make that tackle, but he made that play by setting that edge. Nowhere to go, and look at all that pursuit down the line. That's team defense right there. I go back, John, to that 3rd down call to throw. Great ball fake, had to pitch it. And there you see Vogel outrunning that, forcing the cutback, knowing that his teammates were going to be there. Defense.
Kevin Toe on the tackle. It's Maple Grove taking over on downs. Patrick Wright will get the call here on 1st down. Gets about 5 yards before he's driven back. Wright had 1 carry in the first half for 28 yards. It's 5 here. So the turnover that Maple Grove had on the interception doesn't hurt them as the defense comes up with the big 4th down stop.
You know what, I'm looking at that time of possession, John, that they have here. 22 minutes for Shakopee, only under 11 for Maple Grove.
Handoff. Langama ran into his own guy there, south, and then they get a hold, and this is going to, well, we'll see what they want to do, if they're going to take the penalty or the play, which was a very short game for Maple Grove.
Yeah, only the third penalty on Maple Grove. But where that happened, too, was in the backfield, so that's going to really back them up.
Holding, number 66 of the offense. Half the distance to the goal.
They'll take the penalty here.
Second down.
You're going to back up Maple Grove inside the 10. You'll take that every time, right?
I will, and
even if it gives them an extra down.
And I don't think right now they're fearing the passing game. Do you know what I mean? So if they can put Maple Grove in a passing situation, there was a clear hold there. That's a hard one for the lineman when your running back's supposed to be on the inside and they cut it out. Just a natural reaction to try to grab them.
Officials spot the ball at the 9, or it should have been, not the 8.
Well, and you can see Bo Draheim, he's out to our left. We'll be surprised to see a little screen here to Volkel.
Oh, and the ball tipped, intended for right. Incomplete.
Yeah, During got back there again. That's the third time we've seen a pass tip tonight, which, again, I don't recall seeing one all year long. Shakopee really doing a nice job at getting those hands up, trying to get in the passing lane. That would have been well blocked. There was a lot of room out to the left here. If he's able to complete that, you can see blockers out in front. Again, Duran can't, knowing he's not going to get home, but he gets almost like you're playing defense in basketball, able to get the tip.
3rd and long for Maple Grove. 15 to go. Just over 2 minutes to play in the third quarter. Still 13-7. Crimson ball's fumbled. Right, got back on top of it for Maple Grove. A huge break for the Crimson.
But again, just timing and just a little sluggish offensively. Just not used to seeing that from Maple Grove.
Before the play, timeout, Maple Grove.
Oh, Maple Grove called it. They're giving him a timeout before that ball was snapped. Wow.
Great for the Crimson, so they'll still have a chance. So, again, 3rd and 15, but not 4th and 15 yet. State tournament appearances, Shakopee way back in 1981, and then not until the last few years when Ray Benton took over, 1921 and 22, and Maple Grove had won the early years, 1998 and 2001 and 02, and then they went over a decade, and those ones 13 through 17 under Matt Lombardi. Runner-up 3 years ago here to Lakeville South, and then unbeaten state champions in 2022.
Well, you think of, obviously, the last couple of years, right, with that state championship. You don't realize that they had a 5-year run where they were making the state tournament. So Matt Lombardi did a great job here. Obviously got them to their first state championship. But I'll tell you, Adam Spurl's certainly taken the torch and run with it. And they're in a dogfight, though, tonight. Whether it's a combination of their execution, which it is, but it's also a combination. I think Shakopee defensively has really come to play tonight.
3rd and 15 for the Crimson. Backed up inside their 10. Harney throws again off his back foot. It's intercepted at the 30. Down to the 20. To the 10, and a return all the way inside the 5-yard line. Brody Miller with the pick.
Shakopee was waiting there, back there. Great coverage. No one got deeper than them. And again, I think Caden Harney was hit as he threw that football. He did not get his whole body into it. There is a flag on the play. It came in very, very late. You might get a face mask here against Maple Grove on the return. So you're going to even get better field position.
Dead ball, personal foul, number 71 of the defense. Half the distance
to the goal, and it'll be 1st and goal for Shakopee at about the 2-yard line.
Well, and you got to remember too that missed extra point is really coming into play, especially when offense is not at a premium at this moment. But I think he was hit as he threw that ball. You just don't see Caden Harney hang balls up in the air and underthrow people.
Line of scrimmage to the 1.
Yeah, let's see. And you can see rolling to the left. And maybe he wasn't hit, but you could tell he had to throw it, and he was kind of backpedaling.
First down, touchdown for Clark.
That's what you got to do. Defense comes up with a huge play. They've given their offense short fields here quite a few times tonight. 3 interceptions. And this time they get it all the way down to the 1, and that man knows how to finish. TJ Clark for his 15th rushing touchdown on the year. All set up because Brody Miller made a heck of a play.
Clark with the TD, his first tonight. 15th of the season, the all-important extra point, and Shakopee is in the lead.
That's big. Here's Brody Miller, his 2nd interception. And Ray Benton's got his team believing and playing. You see the crowd getting into it. And I'll tell you, this is where, as a championship football team, every year at one point, you're going to have a situation where you're doubted. You're doubting yourself. You can see Coach talking to him about it, rolling to his left. You see he had to kind of throw off his back, and I don't know if he got hit on his follow-through. That ball just kind of hung in the air, and a really nice return at the end. And nothing fancy here, just up the middle. Didn't need much, just need to get that momentum going forward.
Maple Grove trailing for the first time since Minnetonka in week 8. When they fell behind by 2 scores, but that was early, and came back and rallied to win.
But that's big, John. I know when I was at Eden Prairie, we never had a close game until the prep bowls, and I remember looking around like, oh boy, how are we going to respond to this? At least Maple Grove's been in some tight games. They've trailed.
Reggie Williams, a little lane, nice little move there, and he's going to be corralled at the 29-yard line. Crimson take over, 1:40 to go here in the 3rd quarter, trailing by a point.
This is where Chucklingama needs to be Chucklingama, right? Where they get him that ball and he has that magic to just make, a big play out of nothing. And they got to try to get the momentum back on their side.
I think they're still a little winded, too. If you look at them,
just the body energy, yeah.
We talked about it in the first half. It's dry in here and warm. And
everyone's, dripping. But you're right, a little bit slower getting back, to and from and out of the huddle.
There's Lingama, doesn't look slow here, and he's out past the 45 or the 48, and a big play on first down for Maple Grove. I think they needed Ryan to get some momentum back, and he gains 20 yards.
Well, like we just said right before the start of this drive, this is where he needs to be what he's been all year long. And again, well blocked. I mean, anytime you got a lineman that's athletic enough like Michael Wagner getting out front, blocking downfield, that young man knows how to make magic happen. Not be surprised to see him put this offense on his back, make some big plays.
Line of scrimmage to 49. He'll get the call again. And gets about 5 yards before he's knocked out of bounds. Tackled by Neighbor.
And this is where it doesn't need to be pretty, John. You don't need to throw. You don't need to. It's not working. Give your horse the ball. He's one of those, too. He gets better as the game goes on. And don't forget, too, you got Draheim up the middle to get some power, too. And
gain of 6, 2nd and 4 from the 45 of Shakopee. Hand off up the middle goes Draheim, and he's got 5, maybe 6 yards. He's got a first down for Maple Grove.
I mean, he doesn't need a lot of carries, but you got to keep that interior of that defense honest, and you also got to find, give Lingama a break here and there. And so getting the ball to Bo Draheim, let him use that strength, that power, picks up the first down.
4 carries for him tonight for 18 yards. First and 10 Crimson from the 40. Back to Lungama. Lungama's got a little seam down to the sideline. Touchdown.
What did we say at the start of this drive tonight? They needed him to be him, and he certainly was. That was a championship caliber drive. No momentum. You just started trailing. You needed to come out and really establish and be who you are. Great blocking on that left side. And Chuck Lungama, that's exactly what they needed from him. Watch the footwork, able to get to the outside. Watch him eye it up right there to determine the best route into the end zone and just use his speed. And I think Maple Grove here are going to keep their offense. They're going to go for 2, and I like that call. You go for 2 here, at least if you are, give up another score, you're not trailing. But all year long, you've worked. You have these 2-point play packages for situations just like this.
Vocal in motion. Give to Lungama, and he's going to be stopped. Conversion fails, and it stays 19-14.
Yeah, so a little surprised on the play call there, but yeah, there was just nowhere to go. Really well blocked up front by Shakopee, and I think there's a touchdown. I mean, again, just really athletic lineman Wagner down the field. And right here, I love that he eyes it up, trying to figure if he needs to speed up or to cut back. Here was the extra point play. Again, look at just a big pile up. There's nowhere to go. But as they've done all year long, John, they play complementary football. Offense got a little of that momentum back. Let's see if defensively they can come and get a stop. Yeah, 800-yard game of the season, 3 touchdowns. Don't be surprised, too. This is always a time of, an onside kick. They like to follow up momentum with, risks and opportunities. You see Shakopee's a good, 14 yards back. I would not be surprised if they went for it here.
Seavers instead will drive it fairly deep, bobble, but handle that to 6 by Tay. Had the kickoff return for the touchdown early, and does get out past the 30-yard line. Initial contact by Brody Berglund and finished off by the rest of the Crimson, and Shakopee will take over. We talked about Jacob Urbanek and what a player he's been for Maple Grove tonight, but all season the big plays number 4 has made, flying around.
Yeah, really, you see him. He's coming from the weak side, strong side. There's great form tackling. He's blitzing. That was a great play tonight. Here's the sack for a loss of about 15 yards there. He's a great defensive player. For how big and strong he is, John, he's really got great speed.
Mr. Football finalist.
And well deserved.
First and 10, Shakopee now trailing after having a brief lead. Clark.
The tow truck in the backfield, John.
He's there again. He's had another good game for Maple Grove.
Gas him up. The tow truck is ready he's made a bunch of plays. And again, you see him, not a big, huge kid. He's, just so athletic and quick. Able to beat his offensive lineman and use that quickness.
End of the third quarter. 1 more to go for a spot in the prep bowl. Each team scored. Maple Grove has the lead. 19-14 Crimson. Back with the 4th on CCX after this.
At Topline Financial Credit Union, we love getting to be part of our members' big moments. Whether it's making home improvements, going to school, building a business, or even getting married. An interest-only home equity line of credit with payments as low as $50 per month can help you get there. It's just one of the ways we're helping our members on their financial journeys. Become a Topline member and let us be a part of yours, because connected, we all do better.
John Jacobson, Ryan Iverson, start of the 4th quarter here at U.S. Bank Stadium. Go back to Clark on the 2nd down run after no gain on the first. run of the series, and he gets about 5 here. He has been the workhorse all season and all night tonight. 20 carries this evening. Touchdown on their last drive.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of really big runs, too, on 3rd and 4th down. It's gotten them some tough yards tonight. That was a big gain there to make this 3rd manageable. We've seen Shakopee go for it on 4th down from this same area on the field. So you got to think they're going to try to run this, even if they only get a couple yards.
3rd and 4. The Clark again. Going to be very close to a 1st down.
Yeah, they're marking it. That's going to be good.
Back-to-back runs by Clark that gets him 10 total yards and a 1st down for the Sabres.
Yeah, again, nothing fancy, just the tough yards, and after contact, still able to drive his feet and move that pile.
Seventh 1st down of the game for Shakopee. So their total yardage, Ryan, just over 100 yards tonight.
Well, their only offensive touchdown was from 1 yard, right after the interception.
Forsberg is dropped for a big loss back inside the 35-yard line.
Yeah, Weigel coming in there. Any play that is Robbinsdale coming, watch him bring in the pressure. He's just so good. And you see, too, as a linebacker, when you're blitzing, you don't have to run into the blocker. Like, it is not mandated that you have to take him on. You see Robbinsdale using his quickness, faking one way, going around him. We saw him swim move earlier. Like, anything you can do, just get around him and go make a play.
2nd and 13. We're back to Clark.
Guess who?
Robbinsdale is there again. Got maybe 2 yards back. It'll be 3rd and long for the Sabres.
And that's the down and distance, John, that Shakopee's done a good job tonight, is when it has been 2nd and long, they've picked up 7, 8, 9 yards to make it 3rd manageable. That time they stuff it, 3rd and 11. Exactly the down and distance Maple Grove wants in this game. Good gap control defense, too.
3rd and 11. Ball on the 40 of Shakopee. They trail by 5 here. 9.5 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. And a timeout taken by Ray Betton. Well, we talked about this unbeaten season so far for Maple Grove. They've only had 1 unbeaten season in school history. That came 2 years ago. Maple Grove able to make the run to the 6A championship here at US Bank Stadium. Soundly defeating Rosemont in the championship game. Man, the state championship rings passed out a couple of months later. It was a great season for Crimson football.
Well, and for you too, being a dad, proud dad on that team too. And I'll tell you, I remember sitting at home watching that game against Rosemont. And do you remember the sportsmanship that with Rosemont? I wanted
the lack of.
I wanted Maple Grove to just keep pounding it on them. I was so happy that they, obviously, you get to know these guys. You, of course, having Jack on that team, but you want them to do well. And when Rosemont was doing that stuff, I was so excited. Maple Grove won that game. How fun was it as a dad? It had to be great.
It was terrific. Yeah, it was a terrific experience. Those 2 years that he played varsity football, a runner-up in a state title.
Yeah,
all right, here we go. 3rd and 11 for Shakopee. Forsberg roll out and under pressure throws. Incomplete. It would have been their first completion tonight. He had Doctor and couldn't hang on to the football.
Yeah, Doctor only 1 catch on the season. It did go for 47 yards. So, again, they just don't throw a lot. They actually got what they wanted. It was a good play by Forsberg. Bought time. He's able to keep going. Watch him get to the outside here. And he bought just a little bit of time. Ball just a little bit behind him. But if you're Doctor, you got to stop and see that and come back to it. Not an easy catch, but one you got to make. And that would have been a big play, and it would have been good for a 1st down.
5th punt of the game for Lee. As you mentioned, Ron, they'd only punted 14 times all season coming in. Short kick, although it'll take a Shakopee bounce, roll toward the sideline and be down to around the 29. So now Maple Grove, 1st down, still 9 minutes to go. But if they can grind out another drive, Ryan, and go up 2 scores, that would be big.
I was going to say, you got to trust, what your defense has done tonight. They have not given up a touchdown off, that 1-yard touchdown run off the turnover. But no need to take chances here. You don't want to throw an interception, put the ball on the ground, give Shakopee momentum and a short field. If they can get even just a couple of first downs, run this clock down to maybe 4 or 5 minutes left, and then even if they end up punting, make Shakopee, really have to go the length of the field.
Draheim will get the call on first down. He's up the middle. It's a little push from behind and a good chunk run of 7, maybe 8 yards for Bo Draheim, headed to Cornell next year.
Yeah, great school, smart kid. I'm telling you, John, Maple Grove, Draheim needs to get the ball every other carry for the rest of this game. If nothing else, it's going to give, Langama a little bit of a breather so that when he does carry the ball, he's going to be really full of burst and power. And Draheim's going to get you positive yards. Got 7-8 yards there on first down. Plus, you can run this play clock down to below 5 here before you snap.
Second and short, and he'll get the call again.
Smart.
The 40-yard line.
And it's going to be a first down, too. And so you get to run another 40 seconds off the clock. And you got to remember, too, John, Shakopee did have to use a timeout on when they were on offense. So only 2 timeouts left. You continue to get 5-6 yards, you could run this clock all the way down to, under a minute or 2. Force Shakopee to have to pass, and that's not what they're comfortable doing.
Crimson students chanting, "Let's go offense" here. Under 8 minutes to go, first down and 10. New set of downs for the Crimson from the 40. Langama in motion, he'll get the carry, cuts it upfield into the secondary, and he's got 17 more.
John, that was weird because you had 2 guys moving before the snap. Did you see that too? Patrick Wright, number 18, is in the backfield. He was standing next to Caden Harney. Watch Patrick Wright here. See him moving there? And you had Langama in motion. That was 2 guys moving at the same time. It was subtle, but you could definitely see it. But they were able to get a good push on the right side.
Langama over 150 yards rushing now tonight and 3 touchdowns. First and 10 from the 43 of Shakopee. Which goes back to 21 again. There he goes. Great move to the outside, then cuts it back to the middle. It's 4th touchdown tonight.
Well, he's been spectacular. He's done what we said he had to do. When Maple Grove's offense maybe a little bit sluggish tonight, maybe not their usual self. Said we needed Chuck Langama to beat Chuck Langama. The last 2 drives, he's put him on their back. Great kick out block by Draheim, untouched. That offensive line really picking it up here on both of these drives. And when he gets in that open field, he is as fun as anybody to watch.
He'll again go for 2. No, excuse me. No, Sievert's on extra point.
Yeah,
Langama got rolled up on him a little bit right at the end of that run in the end zone. It will be just an extra point, a single kick conversion, and Sievers right down the middle, making 26-14. Yeah, no reason to go for 2 there because then a field goal and a 2-point conversion could tie you. Now it's a 2-score game, and look at Langama's night tonight.
Yeah, I mean, in Maple Grove, he's got 198 rushing yards. They have 259 rushing yards total, only 15 yards passing. But there's that kick out by Draheim, and again, that right side of that line of scrimmage doing a great job. And watch the vision and the cutback there. But yeah, here right at the end, there you can see he's getting bumped, maybe landed a little funny. Look at the kick out. Great pull there, or trap block. That cutback right there, that footwork. He's able to cut laterally while also maintaining his speed and his pace on his run. So 2 big drives by the Crimson offense.
His last 3 runs, Ryan, 100 yards and 2 touchdowns.
That's okay. It's not, what you want. But no, I mean, Again, he can make magic happen.
A little pooch kick here, handled as he backed up by Brody Miller. He'll get out to the 27, and that's it. I think that's a good kick. I mean, it wasn't necessarily intended to go for the recovery, but you keep it out of Tay's hands, who had that 99-yarder to start the game. You don't want to give Shakopee a big play right off on special teams.
No, right now, if you're Maple Grove, you are mitigating risk.
Look at the Mr. Football finalists. And Johnson from Armstrong. What a terrific season he had. They had a tough loss to Alexandria last week in the quarterfinals, and Jacob Robbinsdale here tonight for Maple Grove.
Yeah, and Kevon Johnson had a super year. I mean, him and Lagama, for us to broadcast them, we've seen just some great individual performances this year.
Forsberg rolling out, and down he goes. Sam Hansen on the tackle for loss.
Sam Hansen, and the reason he got it is because Jacob Urbanek was chasing him down. You can kind of see this Maple Grove defense really stepping up. He's forcing it out, but Hansen gets off the block and still able to make a big tackle.
Third sack of Forsberg tonight. Doctour on the carry here, and he brings it out past the 31. Dylan Vogel comes up and makes the catch. It's a big play for Shakopee. He gets back the yards lost, plus about 4 more yards. Bring up a third and manageable, 3rd down and 6 here.
Yeah, Doctour, again, you can see he's very good when he gets the ball. Maple Grove's done a nice job of not allowing him to get the ball on the option, and then on the sweeps, just not able to turn upfield. That was a nice run.
Fourth one. And it's a loss again from Maple Grove, and getting it in the backfield. Both Thien is there, and it had help along with Kevin Elmquist.
Just really well played. They shut down the middle. Again, that inside out. They tackled Clark, they tackled Forsberg, and they tackled Doctour. Really good discipline. All the gaps shut down. Maple Grove feeding off their offense now. Defense really coming up big. Those linebackers just doing a great job running to the ball, setting the edge, not allowing any of those gaps to open up.
And if this was 4th and manageable, I think Shakopee goes for it, down 2 scores, but
100%.
4th and over 10 yards, you can't. Low kick, Vogel will get away for
smart.
it there. No risk of a turnover, and Maple Grove in the driver's seat. With 5:05 to go.
Yeah, and this is where, again, I'd expect to see Lungama, and I'd expect to see Draheim up the middle, nothing fancy, taking 37 to 39 seconds between each play to snap the ball, force Shakopee to use their timeouts, and you get a couple first downs, this game is over, John.
Patrick Wright is in the backfield, and Lungama perhaps still a little banged up or not wanting to take a risk. And he's not a bad substitute, number 18, with Draheim getting the call here on first down, and it gets out past the 35, picks up about 4.
And John, to that point, remember they beat Minnetonka, who at the time was the number 1 team, with Lungama on, not playing. So they have complete trust.
Officials timeout on the field for
Patrick
injury.
Wright is very, very good.
Injury timeout, I think it's Blake Benton who is the injured player for Shakopee.
He's got a nice game tonight. 2 picks, a couple of really athletic picks.
We talked about this last week and looked at this list. The 6 Division I commits for Maple Grove football of their senior class.
Well, a lot of these kids and their parents, right? So is there going to be some gambling on, the UND, NDSU games for the next 4 years?
There's definitely rivalry. I asked them about that last week, and there's already a little rivalry between the UND and North Dakota State building up between those 5 guys. But all were so excited just to be continuing to play with at least one of their teammates, and the UND guys, they got a couple of guys they're each going up with, and then Bo Draheim going out to Cornell.
Can't you just see, Robbinsdale, chasing Lungama down, in a couple of years? That'll be fun to watch.
Second down and 6. They wind the clock again after that injury timeout. And so now again, you don't need to break the huddle, right? Stay on that huddle. Let as much time go down as you look at Benton. He's just a sophomore, man. He's already a good player.
Got a great body for football too.
Yeah.
And he's great hands. Made some really instinctive plays tonight. He's got a bright future.
Wright, the lone back this time. Play clock down to 5. And he'll pitch back. Patrick Wright to the 40. Bowls forward to the 45-yard line. Tackle made by Max Coles. But it's a first down for Maple Grove.
And it's probably about the 8th or 9th time tonight where, Lankama and that time Wright, they get 5 or 6 yards downfield without being touched, which tells you that those guys up front really taking care of business. And that clock continues to run. If you can just pick up 5-6 yards of play, keep picking up first downs, you can run this clock all the way down. And again, making sure you're emphasizing ball control. Take care of that ball before contact. We cannot afford a turnover here.
First and 10, Wright. Goes out of bounds, but gets 7 yards, 6 yards. I think he's a little upset himself that he went out. But
you see Coach telling him, stay in bounds. He nods. He knows. What's great about this too is if Langama is done for the night. I mean, I don't think it's serious, but why risk getting something further when obviously you're going to want him as healthy as possible next Friday. And remember at Minnetonka, when they saw Maple Grove the first time, they did not have Chuck Langama, so it'll be a totally different offense.
Wright got close to 8 on that first down, so it's 2nd down and 2. He'll get the call again. He'll have a first down to the 43-yard line, and another first down for Maple Grove. He's gotten the call in these last 4 carries. 5 yards, 8 yards, 8 yards, and now 5 more.
That's huge. That's all they need to do. They don't need anything fancy. Reggie Williams coming in, also carry the ball. Got that good speed. You might see him in a jet motion, get the ball for an end around. How about Caden Harney? Obviously, it's a game statistically you're going to look at and not think too much about, but he's managed to stay in there and fight. Got a lot of hits tonight, but still fighting, still leading his team.
Well, Draheim gets the carry here, and he got close to another first down for Maple Grove.
Well, when they needed it most, John, remember they were down 14-13 after the interception and the Shakopee touchdown. Since then, they've had 2 possessions and they've had 2 touchdowns, championship-level drives. This game was close for about 3/4 of it, and then they just upped their level of physicality and execution here down the stretch.
Gain of 9, 2nd down and 1. Just over 2 minutes to play in the 4th quarter. Pitch back to Wright. Patrick Wright has a first down and brought down from behind at the 20-yard line. Tackle by Jake Sickmiller. Wright, another big chunk play and a first down.
Yeah, and Wright, he's got that good speed and he's shifty too. Able to get to the outside, but right there he decides to go outside. Look at this cutback. And again, being able to cut back without stopping, still having your speed. Nice gain. You see him hobble a little bit.
Gama's on the sideline. His night is through, but he knows he's going to be playing here next Friday.
I'm a little surprised Shakopee hasn't used their timeouts at all. Basically letting Maple Grove run the clock all the way down. Here Maple Grove's going to use a timeout. That one ran a little too far.
Maple Grove.
Chuck Langama, we've asked a couple of his teammates about number 21.
When we're out here in the summer and we're doing our inter-squad scrimmage and stuff, and he's all sweaty, you can't tackle him. If you try to go and hit him hard, he's gonna juke you, and if you kind of break down, then he's just gonna truck you. So he's a unique runner. He's very dynamic.
Best athlete, I got to go Chuck or Diva. They're 2 totally different builds, but I've never seen someone walk into a weight room at 5 a.m. and just casually throwing 500 pounds of squat on 4 hours of sleep. I got to go Chuck.
Dylan Volkel and Michael Wagner talking about
Chuck Lingama and Wagner also. He had a tough choice. Who's a better athlete, Vocal or Lingama? But he said those guys are something special, and they have been.
Well, Wagner's a big part of a lot of those statistics. That offensive line, they're not huge size-wise, but they can get out and move, and they're tenacious, and they've done a great job just kind of wearing out. Listen, John, I thought Shakopee came to play tonight defensively especially. They made Maple Grove really earn it. They took the passing game completely away. They got 3 turnovers. They played it close, but they've just gotten a little bit worn out here.
Right inside, and gets 8 more yards. Again, the runs on this series for Wright, 8 yards, 5, 14, and 8. And that line has finally started to wear down Shakopee.
Yeah, and how about, too, just having the trust in him, right? In this part of the game, got to take care of the ball. Not only is he taking care of it, but he's making great plays and keeping that clock going and keeping the chains moving. And it's almost like Shakopee has just thought maybe early they'd take a timeout, try to play the clock game, but we'll be surprised to see Maple Grove just take a knee after this play.
2nd and 2, and rushing forward, and that'll be a first down, and I think they will from here. First down and goal, and that is going to about do it. Draheim right on this series on Gama with his huge plays that he had right off the bat, scoring on the first play from scrimmage. Bo Draheim, he knows his brother Max was on the team 2 years ago. Bo got called up at the end of his sophomore season. They know they're going back to the championship game.
Yeah, they'll take a knee here. Really well played. You can see why Shakopee clearly deserving of that number 2 or number 3 as far as best team in state. They were physical tonight. They came to play. Maple Grove's defense holding Shakopee. How about this, John? 103 total yards.
Crazy.
Really great performance by the Crimson defensively, and offense when they needed to. These last couple of drives really stepped up.
Maple Grove, let's go. Their 3rd trip to the Prep Bowl in 4 seasons. And they get a rematch with Minnetonka, a team they beat in the end of the regular season, but of course that brings up the storyline. Matt Lombardi, the defensive coordinator now for the Skippers, he's got Minnetonka he's one of the reasons, they get a lot of talent on that team, that they're in the Prep Bowl for the first time in many years. And Maple Grove there for the 3rd time in 4 seasons, trying to make it 2 undefeated state championship teams in the last 3 years.
Yeah, and you got to think having Coach Lombardi there, obviously a big pro for Minnetonka, just because he knows the personnel, he knows, the plays that they're running, very similar. But I'll tell you what, sometimes it doesn't matter if you know what the other team's going to do; it's who can execute. And Maple Grove really showed their authority down the stretch here, just physically dominating the run game. Yeah, you saw why he was Urbanic, Mr. Football finalist. He was all over the field tonight defensively.
A final timeout. We'll come back with final thoughts here from US Bank Stadium. Crimson on to the Prep Bowl next week.
CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is available on Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and Roku. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You also have access to a large on-demand library, including full sporting events and daily newscasts. To find us, go to the store, search CCX, and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. The CCX Media app, available on Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and Roku. 26-14, Maple Grove has secured its spot in the Prep Bowl next week. They remain unbeaten, now 12-0 with the win over the Sabres. Crimson on the field. Reggie Williams and some Patrick Wright, a couple of
back flips like Ryan Iverson and I were doing just a moment ago, but off camera, so no proof of that.
I would tear something during.
Right.
During
Well, how about the comeback Maple Grove had tonight? Now, again, they were only down by a point, but late in the third quarter, things aren't going their way. They get a great drive. Their offensive line starts to move some people. Chuck Lungama starts doing his thing, right? And then they get a touchdown on that drive. And then that fourth quarter, I thought they really controlled play on both sides of the ball, and their defense really was solid all night.
Yeah, and they didn't give up a touchdown, right? That 1 yard touchdown after the interception, John, but they held Shakopee to 101 total yards. This is a team that averages right around 300 yards rushing per game. So defense came to play tonight, but there was those 2 championship drives where they were down 1. We said we need to see Chuck Lungama rise to the occasion. He certainly did that. The defense gets a stop. Chuck Lungama again scores another one. So just a fantastic championship finish to the game. You don't have to play your best every game. Right. You just got to find ways to win. They certainly did that. Should be a great game next week.
Great prep bowl next Friday night at about 7 o'clock. 6A final, Minnetonka and Maple Grove for the championship. That will do it for our coverage tonight from U.S. Bank Stadium. Thanks to all of our terrific crew. It's our last game of the season. Next week, Channel 45 has the broadcast rights for all of the Prep Bowl games. So for Ryan Iverson and everyone else here, I'm John Jacobson from Minneapolis. It's Maple Grove on to the championship. 26-14, they beat Shakopee.